Look, I think it's just the whole momentum, the movement that we have at the moment. It's very exciting. And, Caitlin, just the impact that she's had on this city and this franchise, but also on the WNBA. And, I've been there from the 1998. I've only missed the first season there, but, finally getting that recognition, but because we've had other great players, and it's just this time is finally come for us. So, for me, better late than never. happy to be a part of it, and hopefully it's a great game tonight.
When you look at, I guess, some of the challenges that young, talented players you coached before have faced transitioning into the league, what are some of those challenges, and what could Caitlin face this year?
Yeah, look, I think she's an amazing talent, and she's going to have a really, really great pro career. But come from college is different than the pros, and that's why I think that's the biggest adjustment. She's got the skills, but how do you play? Learning all the new opponents, the physicality of the league. I think that, everyone's an athlete here. Everyone's skilled. It's the WNBA, so you're not going to have any letdown there. But a young player, I think she's mentally tough, and she's got obviously a great future ahead of her. And my advice would just focus on what you can control, and, don't get too high or too low, because it's going to be a journey of highs and lows. But that's for every athlete, not just Caitlin.
Sandy, do you see this sort of, she's a player who is in a place where people have been building, steps have been going on. She comes in, the NIL started about 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, sometimes, I'm not saying she's right place at right time, but this is right place at right time for maybe women's sports.
100%. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, look at, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi. They had to go overseas in Russia and make their money. Brianna Stewart, there was no, not the NIL with what they're getting now. I mean, they're earning millions of dollars. I don't know how much they earn, but they're earning money, good money, which, the players that come before them that have paved the way had to go overseas. And but better late than, like I said, it's better late than never. Hopefully this just continues to grow, and like she's, what a great legacy to leave behind. Like, I think everyone's getting behind women's sport, and obviously it starts with the media and then getting people on TV, and the product's really good. And so hopefully that's the support that will continue to grow. Expansion is going to be exciting too, because I think we have so many great players don't even make it. So I think we need more expansion to continue to grow this league.
Coach, I was wondering specifically, just to build on the question earlier about, players early in their career, specifically for guards. You were already a pro when you came you had a lot of experience, but how much has the demands on guards changed in the history of the WNBA? Or could you put that in perspective?
Yeah, look, I think the demands, I think it depends on the program that you come through, how we want to play the game. But I think, and Caitlin, she's, system's probably going to be built around her. And so that's adding a lot, probably more demands on her, especially in a 40 game. Yes, she played a lot of games in college, but this is a different level, and every game's going to be tough now. Obviously, we have charters that's going to help the recovery. But in, game one, she had a tough night, but you have to have a short memory, don't you? But that's the beauty of this league. You just got to get to that next moment. Teams, like, we're positionless. It depends on who's around you, but I think she has to play a big role as facilitating, playmaking, scoring, and she has the ability there. But and in the end, it's about the team. It's not just about Caitlin. So I think she's got some really good quality players around her, and they're still a young team, and they're going to keep getting better and better.
Sandy, I'm sorry.
No, you can go ahead. We'll take one
sure.
I mean, a big deal was made when Stewie said, like, to be the all-time greatest player, you have to win a championship. Which, what else is she going to say? She won a bunch of championships. I would have said the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, is it kind of good for the league to build up little rivalries and stuff like that?
Well, I suppose Caitlin probably wouldn't want it like that way either, and you have to look at it on her bank. But yeah, I mean, best league, how many championships she did win? They always look back at that. And,
yeah.
She didn't get to do that, but she made some Final Fours, so she's in that discussion there. But Stewie's, like I always, Stewie won 4. I mean, that's unheard of with what she did in her era, and she's a great young talent. But I think you have to realise the other players, the great players we have around it, and it's unfair for Caitlin for it to be just about her. It really is unfair. It's not right. She's young. She's going to have highs and lows. Let's celebrate all the great players in our league, not just one player.
And then a question about Caitlin, like you've coached against so many of the greats that have come through this game. I'm not asking you to compare her specific game, but the approach you have to have when a player garners so much attention, does it remind you of anyone maybe that you've coached or coached against when it comes to game planning?
Yeah, look, Diana Taurasi, I mean, you got to coach her. I mean, everyone used to have a game plan. Let's stop Diana, play her physical, make it hard for her, put her in the action. You know, that's when you're a great player, you be spoken about, you have very great skills. I mean, that's what the opposing team's going to do.
Hey, Coach. Thank you for joining us. Wanted to ask, you know, from a coach's perspective, you probably have watched film upon film upon film of Caitlin Clark. So my question to you, from that coaching perspective, what makes her different from so many of the other generational talents that have come through this league, and what makes her the great hope for this league in the sense of her on-court play?
Look, I think firstly, we've had other great talent come through. It's just at the moment, this is Caitlin's time with the skill set. You know, Diana and Sue were coming through. We had, you know, before that was Swoops and Lisa Leslie. So that we've had some amazing high-end talent. Yeah, this is Caitlin's time. I mean, I think those players, and you put Diana and Stewie and Jill Lloyd, and obviously the list goes on, as they come in, they're confident in what they do. I think a lot of that helps. They know, you know, they know how to shoot. Most of them knew how to put the ball in the basket. They've, you know, but I think they've had the ball in their hands. They've grown in confidence, and that helps. They believe in themselves, and, you know, the people around them believe in them, and that certainly helps with the, you know, advancing to that next level.
And how much of the game plan you wanted to put in pre-game translate to what actually happened on the court? Yeah,
I thought we executed our scout really well. I mean, Caitlin demands so much respect out there and attention, and that's what we did. And we have Benoit Laney. I mean, what more could you ask? You know, one of the best defenders in this league, if not the best. She really just takes it on you, just committed to excellence, really. And, you know, Caitlin, it made it tough for her. Now we just have to repeat it again. But it was the team behind the ball. I thought we played with a sense of urgency, which we really didn't do in Washington.
I was wondering what you thought about just initially tonight with Caitlin Clark, just seeing her playing in the WNBA.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that you're just talking about, like, from a basketball perspective. I mean, obviously she's a very, very talented player, and I was talking with someone before the game, and it's like she's a number one pick, and number one picks continue to grow and develop into this league and really make their mark. And for her to be able to handle everything that she's handling on and off the court and still play and be locked in with her team, it's great to see. I think that, you know, everyone knows, Sav and I know, coming to the WNBA, there's an adjustment just from the level of play and playing against the best every single night. But she has a good group around her to continue to build and learn, and obviously a young core, but reminds me a little bit of when I was in Seattle.
Awesome. We'll finish with Barb.
Sabrina, I'm sorry if this was asked, I was late, but Caitlin said before the game that she got Pac-12 television just to watch you, and that she loved watching you. And can you talk a little bit about, like, I mean, your circumstances were different because the bubble and everything going on, but what was it like when you first came into the league and the adjustments that you had?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I hosted her and her dad at Oregon on when she came to visit, so we kind of go way back, and to be able to see her do what she did in college, and, you know, now being able to go up against her, I'm just excited to see what she's gonna, you know, be able to accomplish. Obviously, my rookie season, I played 2 games, and so I think it was a little bit different than what a lot of people have had to go through. And then, you know, coming back into my first season playing, I was navigating being that number one pick, having the target on your back, and also navigating not being healthy and trying to come back. And so it's just tough. I mean, you know, you always are going to have to fight adversity, and I think that's part of everyone's journey, is being able to kind of weather that storm and figure out what makes you you. And she's so young, she's going to be able to learn and grow. Times like this are kind of when you figure out what you're really made of and how you can continue to improve as a teammate, as a basketball player, as a person. And so I'm not the least you know, bit worried about what she's going to be able to accomplish in the league. I just know she's going to continue to work really hard and stick with it, and good things will happen to good people.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Doing this year.
It's exciting. You know, I think just what we were able to build on last year with all the fans and the support that they gave us, and to kick it off with the sellout. I mean, that's fun. That's why, it's great. Women's basketball is getting their flowers finally.
Thanks. Jonathan Tannenwell from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Now that you've gotten a chance to watch Caitlin Clark in person and on film a good bit, what have you seen from her game and her step up so far, and how do you do it as the opposing coach?
Yeah, look, like she's a great young talent, and you have to remember that she's a young talent. She's coming into the WNBA for the first time. She's going to be a really good pro. I know that much. But it's hard coming in as a number one. I mean, when's the last time a number one pick has come in and dominated from the start? And I think she's had some really good moments for sure. She had 20 in the first game. We were able to keep her to single digits in that last game, but very capable. We can't leave her open. So I think the whole game plan's around her, and she's going to be a player that will continue to grow, because I think she's a quick learner. She's got high basketball IQ. And she's going to be okay. She's got to, hopefully not today. We'll make it as hard for her as possible. But I think all young players have highs and lows. All players have highs and lows.
Hey, Sandy, Remy with the New York Times. A few minutes ago, you said, when was the last time you saw a number one draft pick kind of hit it off immediately?
Brianna Stewart.
Well, there you go.
Candace Parker. Two. I can name two.
Well, okay. Well, that answers my first question. But my second question was, there could be a lot of comparisons drawn to Sabrina. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about when you saw it click for Sabrina, especially here in New York.
Yeah, look, Sabrina had a tough, introduction to the league. She got injured after 2 games in the bubble and was injured the following year, trying to come back. And it's just, number ones, they got a bit of a target on their back. It's a little bit unfair in that, but they've earned it from their college experience. They're number ones. It's a history. It's not just the person. It's just, that's what it is. Kelsey Plum, it took her an adjustment. Look what she's doing now. Sabrina, look what the adjustment that she made. I think it just comes with experience, understanding what you need to continue to work on. And Sabrina, it was the first year that I was here, I think about halfway through the year, we knew how to play her best. So it was kind of a bit both ways. And then, putting the ball more in her hands and giving her confidence to go out there and, learn by doing, and knowing that we had her back. And I think that's where she really grew, because she's tough. I mean, all these number ones, they're tough here too. They just you got to give them, I just try and give them as much confidence, making sure we're holding accountable and telling them areas we need to get on, but we've got their back.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Hi, Jada Kamel with Brooklyn Paper. I'm sure there's this added anticipation and energy when you're playing at your home court for the first time. So, Coach, I'm wondering what that conversation looks like to your players when you're preparing them for that first home game.
Yeah, look, obviously we're all excited. Yeah, we did speak about it. I'm like, the fans were having a sellout. We had a sellout in Indianapolis, but this is our home court, and we really created such a great buzz last year, and we appreciate the fans. And, they're coming out to watch us, maybe some watching Caitlin Clark too, but coming to watch us. And we should take pride in that and how we perform. So that was our focus. And, we want to protect our home court. We've got all these people. Let's go play great basketball and making sure that we're getting the win every time we step on court.
Well, good evening. Thank you for being here with us. First, I want to know, just reflecting, how would you compare and contrast Saturday's home opener and last year's home opener, if you can remember? Like, what felt different and what's sort of the evolution that you think about?
Yeah. I think both home openers were obviously great games for us. We played Indiana. That's when Stewie went off for 40. And it was loud, but I think, our home opener the other day, that was just on another level. And I think that's, we talk about the movement, the momentum that we've gained this year, and we got a lot of fans last year. And, they're just passionate fans in New York, and we love it.
Sandy, Indiana's been complaining a lot about hard fouls on Caitlin. I'm sure you saw the Chicago thing. So what do you think is going on with that? Are teams trying to get in Clark's head, or is it she's the number one pick, and or what do you think is happening?
Yeah, obviously that foul, that was probably inappropriate. That's not what we do. I think every team is playing physical. I mean, our games have been all physical, but there's you're playing basketball. So, stay within the rules of basketball and we're in good shape. I don't think we take away the physicality. Caitlin's, she's a fabulous player, so she's going to get a lot of attention naturally. And I think she's handled herself brilliantly, to be quite honest. It's tough for a young kid, but she's got the skills and she's going to be an amazing pro player.